about the 28th day of July 2025, Rivera County Taxes, the defendant, Ida Herrera, failed to report a change of address to the probation officer in violation of Condition Number 8.
What you are about to watch is a second motion to revoke hearing for a woman who has been on probation for less than a full year and is already standing before this judge for the second time. Let that sink in for a moment. Not even 12 months on probation, and this is already her second violation hearing. She is currently pregnant. 3 of her other children are already living with their maternal grandparents due to prior CPS involvement. She failed to report to her probation officer. She changed her address without notifying anyone as required by her conditions. And this judge has read every single line of the court summary, the probation notes, and the prior MTR history before this hearing even began. This one gets deeply personal very quickly and builds into one of the most direct conversations you will ever hear a judge have with a defendant in open court. Stay with me because this judge does not soften a single word of what she is about to say.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
True. Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of Condition Number 8, the court can find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of Condition Number 8? Court will find violation of Condition Number 8 true. Is there proposed agreement?
No, Judge. State is requesting that you grant this motion and revoke the defendant's exclusively based on things that are contained within the court's summary.
All right. And defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking that the court follow the recommendation by probation to send Ms. Barrera to felony drug court.
All right. So probation,
Yes, Judge.
is that what probation is recommending?
So the recommendation on the court summary is to amend for a TAP recommendation that she go to SATIF. She remains in Bear County until she gives birth, then participate in SATIF once she's medically cleared. I did look over previous information from the last MTR. This is her second MTR. She's been on probation not even a year, Judge. The last MTR, she was supposed to go to a NOS program. She wasn't accepted into NOS. She was supposed to have a felony drug court evaluation and then return back to court. That did not happen. She was not accepted into the NOS program because my notes indicate the NOS program didn't accept her insurance.
Stop right here because what the judge just said is one of the most honest and legally significant moments in this entire hearing. She looked at everything in this file and said out loud that she does not believe this woman is a good candidate for continued probation. That is not a throwaway comment. That is a judge telling a defendant directly that the evidence does not support giving her another chance. And yet in the very next breath, she leaves the door open anyway. She says maybe things will change. Maybe there is still some help available. And she is clear that she does not have a crystal ball. That tension between what the record clearly shows and what is still theoretically possible is exactly what makes this moment so critical. The judge is not being naive or soft. She is being deliberate and transparent. And she wants this woman to understand with complete clarity just how thin and fragile that remaining margin of grace actually is right now.
Okay. So any objections to the court review and the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
Just like the song. So here's the thing. Do I think you would be a good candidate for probation? No. We've tried things. But am I willing? Maybe things will change. Maybe there can be some help for you. I know that from reading this, well, I don't know why the tears are here. Because I will tell you this, I appreciate the tears, right? But let me just tell you, just like the song says, tears do not make flowers grow. And the problem is you haven't been stepping up to the plate and doing what you're supposed to do. I'm reading this the court summary, and you know what it says in here? Your parents have custody of your other children due to CPS issues. No, that's what that says here.
That's what it says, but I have paper, I can get paperwork and proof from Attorney General that I have full rights to custody of my kids.
You should.
And I'm the custodial parent of all three. It's just, I'm waiting on my housing. I've been bouncing from place to place, so that's why I didn't want to.
Let me just tell you, you should not have custody of your children. And this is what I don't understand, and I want you to internalize what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean, but people are just going out here having children, have no means to financially support them. According to this, you have 3 other children. So when I would do CPS cases, you know what I would tell my clients? I'm like, look, I'm going to give you a pass on your first child.
The judge just said something out loud in open court that most people in positions of authority think privately, but almost never actually say in a formal legal setting. People will always find a way to make a baby, but they consistently cannot find a way to support the children they already have. And she is not saying it to humiliate this woman or to be unnecessarily harsh. She is saying it because the pattern sitting in this file makes it completely impossible to look away from. 4 children total. No stable housing. No consistent employment. Active CPS involvement with 3 of those children already placed with grandparents. A second motion to revoke in under a year on probation. And now a new pregnancy on top of all of it. The judge is not attacking this woman as a person. She is forcing her to look at the full picture of her situation all at once without any filters and without any softening. Because until that picture is seen clearly, nothing in it can actually change. What do you think needs to happen first for any part of the situation to get better?
Maybe you don't know, nobody told you how babies are made, right? So I'm going to give you a pass for that. But I would have clients who would be 20 years old and have 5 children. And I'm doing the math in my head. At some point, everybody knows where children are made. Do you know I had a CPS case once and they were saying, well, Stephanie, we're going to place the child with the great grandparent. I was like, well, that's going to mess things up because, I'm hoping everybody will live forever. But I'm like, that great grandparent is too old. No, not too old. On the CPS side, we have grandparents who are like 40. I actually represented somebody once. I was representing the baby. And you know how old that baby's mom was? 12. People out here just running around, having children, not giving them any idea of what life is all about, just procreating. And here you are, you're out here just procreating.
What the judge just described is not a hypothetical worst-case scenario she is constructing to frighten this woman into compliance. It is a documented and well-established reality that plays out in family courts across this country every single day, and the judge has watched it happen from multiple sides of the courtroom throughout her entire career. When a parent is incarcerated and no suitable family member steps forward or is available to take temporary custody of the children, Child Protective Services opens a case immediately. Foster placement follows shortly after. And what begins as a temporary arrangement intended to be a bridge back to the parent can become permanent much faster than most people ever anticipate. Foster parents form genuine bonds with the children in their care. Attorneys get retained. Motions for termination of parental rights get filed. And before long, siblings who should be growing up together end up separated and adopted into completely different families who may never even know each other exist. The judge has seen this cycle play out from the defense side as a CPS attorney and now from the bench. And she is laying out exactly where this specific road leads if nothing in this situation changes starting right now.
And you have no means to support. Oh, I'm placing my children with my grandparents because I don't want to be bouncing from place to place because I don't have a place to stay. Whose fault is that? Yours? Get a job. People always will find a place to make a baby, but they don't have a place to support their children. Now your children are with the maternal grandparents, and trust me, grandparents, guess what they want to do? They just want to be the fun grandparent. There are no rules here. I'm going to spoil my grandbabies and then send them back home to you. But they can't because you're not doing anything.
I've actually been waiting on my housing.
Now, here's the thing. You're waiting on housing. Guess what? You're not providing that housing. The government is providing housing, which means taxpayers are providing housing. And I got news for you. There's a government shutdown. And I don't know why you would choose to get pregnant, because people know how babies are made, when you don't have your life together. And you don't even have your 3 children with you. Now you're crying before me because you don't want to go to the state jail facility. And let me just tell you, I would send you for 2 years, right? And you know what would end up happening? You would be at the state jail facility. And when your baby was born, somebody would be right there to pick up your baby. Somebody in the form of the state, Child Protective Services. And either it would be placed with your maternal grandparents, but your mom may say, you know what? I can't take any more children. And then you know what ends up happening? Then your siblings are separated. Because somebody will adopt your baby. Your attorney will tell you, guess what? It's always easy to get a newborn baby adopted, because you know why? People are looking to adopt children. Guess what they figure? There isn't too much damage that a parent could have done to this child, unless they were using drugs while they were carrying the child. They are ready to go and take that baby. And you know, on the CPS side, when you place children with foster parents, they're just supposed to foster. We're going to be here. We're a stopgap for the parent. The parent's going to get their life together. But you know what really happens? Foster parents fall in love with the children. Next thing you know, they're hiring an attorney, and that attorney is filing motions so that they can adopt your child and your rights can be terminated. And then that's how you have a bunch of people walking around on the planet, don't even know they're related, because people like you are just procreating. And then you come before me crying because you haven't done what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to give you a choice. Do I think you will be successful on this probation? Absolutely not. But, you know, I can be proved wrong. I don't have a crystal ball. I can send you, let you do your two years at the state jail facility now, or you're going to stay at the jail till you're ready to be transferred to inpatient treatment or felony drug court. And I can tell you, felony drug court, they have said that they're down a probation officer, so they can't take as many people or accept as many people as they normally would. So that's where we are. But suffice it to say, you're not going to be with your child. So either you're not going to be with your child because you're going into the state jail facility for 2 years, or either you're not going to be with your child because you're going to be in inpatient treatment. And with your child, if your grandparents don't pick up your child from the prison or the Bath County Jail, Child Protective Services, they're going to be called anyway. They're going to do an investigation to see if it's appropriate for your child to go with your maternal grandparents. And if they say no, then CPS will have custody of your child. And I see in here where your mother don't even know where you are. Spoke to mom who stated she hasn't seen her daughter, but I'll tell her to call probation if she finds her. So instead of you helping your mother with your children, you're just out here procreating. So which do you prefer? 2 years in the state jail facility, or either you're going to remain in the state jail facility, remain here at the Bath County Jail till you're transferred to somebody's inpatient treatment or felony drug court. Which do you prefer?
I would like to try to get rehab or drug court now.
All right, the court is going to deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions. She's to remain in custody for a transfer to felony drug court. We're going to do an updated TAP. And regardless of what the TAP says, it's going to be inpatient treatment. And once she's released, there's going to be field visits until further notice. Is there anything else?
Not from defense counsel, Judge.
All right, we can go off the record. So do not come to me. If you're back here again for this, don't come because you're wasting your tears, not helping flowers grow. You understand? All right, if you graduate from felony drug court, I'll come to your graduation.
Can I say something?
Sure.
The only thing is I waited 9 weeks before I was notified that the rehab nurse had rejected me. I do have Medicaid. I'm not understanding why they rejected my Medicaid. And I wasn't told, they never called me out. I already got my court date 2 weeks ago to reappear for interview. If I kept asking what the situation was with my case.
Let me ask you this. All of your trying You were successful in finding time to find some guy and have a baby, become pregnant. You're able to do that, but you were not able to be present for your field visits. You're not available to report to probation because they couldn't find you. You're able to do all of that.
I was reporting on this came clearly on my UA. I wouldn't show up for my report dates.
No, they tried to find you. They could not.
That's towards the end. Just found
So
I was kicked out from where I was staying, and my belongings had got stolen. My cell phone had got stolen. That's why I wasn't able to receive the phone call.
but here's the thing. You are able to contact someone so you can have a baby and become pregnant.
I was already pregnant
So-
by the time